Good morning, everybody. Coffee time. One of the bonuses of living in Colombia, best coffee on earth, all around me, too. I mentioned in a video with my brother, a Gen X Transplant Bros playlist, that, I get up every day and I read stuff and watch stuff on the internet. And this morning I was looking through one of my old websites, windandraven.com. And I read a blog post that I'd made, I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago. I would like to read it to you. It's a summarized version of it, but check this out. See if this still resonates with people, okay? It's strange how life can feel like a dream that you're stuck inside. Not the peaceful kind, the kind where you're awake and moving, but nothing feels like your choice. I keep having this recurring dream, and I know it's some deep part of me wanting to throw up a flare. It always starts the same way. I drag myself out of bed half conscious, with a quiet dread humming in the background. It's still dark outside. I've already missed the bus. I'm waiting for the next one in the city. It doesn't even feel alive. Just shadows of people passing by, faces I don't recognize. Eventually, I make it to the office and the sun starts to rise. But the sunlight doesn't bring warmth. It feels like a spotlight on how empty everything is. Same hallways, desks, and routines. Every tick of the clock feels like someone's siphoning off my life one teaspoon at a time. Lunch just wandering around trying to clear the frog. Then I go home on the bus. It feels like heavier than ever, like sinking under its own exhaustion. I collapse into the bed, staring at the ceiling, not tired in the body, but tired in the soul. And just before I wake up, I realize something that chills me every time. That wasn't a nightmare. That is my life. And what's wild is I don't question it because we're not trained to question it. We're trained to comply, be a good worker, be a good citizen, be grateful for the grind, be polite. We're told the grind is noble. We're told our job is your purpose. We're told that people above us, the companies, the systems care about us. Meanwhile, Google, Meta, all of them, they lay off tens of thousands overnight, no warning, no remorse, just spreadsheet adjustment. And still people believe the fantasy of the corporate family. It's the same psychology as wrestling fans. You know it's scripted, but you want to believe it. The truth is simple. Our time goes on. Our time goes in. Their profits come out, and they tell us it's opportunity. And this goes on and on. A 40-hour week isn't sacred. It's just old. Old enough that we don't question it. Old enough that it keeps us tired and compliant. And too worn down to step back and look at the script. There's a storytelling trick called special audience cognitive leap. You give the audience one quick line, they'll accept a massive jump of logic of the story. Society does this constantly. We work hard, it'll all pay off. Keep your head down, be loyal, be patient. But life doesn't honor those shortcuts. And that's when the dream starts feeling like a dream, when the sense of the story doesn't match the reality. And waking up, well, that's terrifying because waking up means confronting how much of your life you've lived on autopilot, how many years you traded away for somebody else's conveyor belt. For me, the real awakening didn't happen in a dream. It happened in Colombia. Living outside the country I came from, it made me realize who I am. I'm an American, not by flag, not by politics, not by slogans, but by the wiring, the humor, the instincts, and the worldview. Living somewhere else stripped all the noise away and left only the truth. The truth is, every hour you give away is gone forever. Every hour you feed someone else's machine is an hour you didn't feed your own life. We don't have to live the script we inherited. We can write a new one piece by piece, quietly at first, then boldly once the fog lifts. That recurring dream of mine, the one I realize I'm living a loop, that dream isn't a warning, it's a door out of the sleepwalking, a door out of the social conditioning, a door into whatever is left when we stop trading time for survival and start building something that's actually ours. And maybe that's the real awakening, realizing you're allowed right now to walk off the set of a life that you never fit you and step into the one that finally does. I just read that here because I'm going to refer to it in the series that my brother and I are starting this week on what it means to be Gen X. And I'm going to refer to it and I'll probably link to it, but I'm not going to repeat it there. For anybody that watches that or just watches this, I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. I apologize for having to read it off of the screen. The original version is much longer. That's condensed. Maybe that resonates with you. I've lived remotely. I've been working remotely since 1997, self-employed. So I haven't had the office experience like the vast majority of you. And I've been on the outside, but I felt it in the same ways. And we're going to talk about that in the series. But if this resonates with you at all, don't take it as some spiritual look at stuff or getting metaphysical. Let it sink in. Let it sink in. The real message is we have the freedom to do whatever we want. How we interpret life is up to us. When I wrote This Is How It Feels to Heal, the book about when I had cancer and got a liver transplant, that line came to me one day. I believe it was probably 16 or 17 when I was giving blood, and they were doing it so often. And I hated needles, but by this time it wasn't bothering me. And then one day the nurse was about to put the needle in there, and I flipped the script. This wasn't pain. This was how it feels to heal. And suddenly it didn't hurt. And suddenly I accepted the reality of I was getting better. Nobody was picking on me. This needle didn't have anything against me. Neither did the nurse. They were trying to help me heal. The same way that when the doctor told me I had 6 months to live back in 2010, I said, I don't buy your myth of death. I figured if I didn't believe that to be real, it didn't have to be real. And I insisted I would live. And that's the whole theme of the book. So flipping the script. And so if this can help you flip some script to make a better life for you, to help you, I'm not saying I make it, but you know what I mean, to help you find that path. And by all means, man, success, right? Get up, go. That's a Gen X spirit. But no pain, no gain. It might not always feel nice to confront these things, but we have to. We have to retake us. We are America, Gen X. We've been sitting kind of on the sidelines. We need to flip that script and get our country back. That's all I got to say on this. Talk to you later, man.